everyone. Okay, so I am going to attempt to make a process video today, really quick, and there's a whole bunch of stuff on my desk that I pulled that I am really hoping that I get a chance to use, and some of the stuff I've never even used before. So let me see if I can find the sketch underneath all this. Okay, so this is an old Sunday sketch from Studio Calico, and it was originally designed by Tina from Studio Calico, and I believe, yep, that's right. I don't know where it's from, or what design gallery this is from, but I want to say it's from October, the October roller rink, just because that was in that's the section I pulled it out of my book. So keeping my fingers crossed that that's exactly where it came from. But it was a Sunday sketch on their blog sometime in November. So this is what I am doing. And then the things that I pulled, I wanted to use these new Mr. Hughes, the neon collection that they had out a few weeks ago, and I haven't used it yet. So when I say I haven't bought anything, technically yes, I have, through Studio Calico, just because I thought these were really cute, or at the same time that I purchased the ink pads. So I have the mist out, and then I have a whole bunch of masks that I pulled from my stash that I'd like to use. I've never used this one before, and I've used both of these, so I have those. And then let me just kind of flip-flop over here. Pulled out these alphas since they came in that warehouse box from Heidi Swapp, and then I also pulled out the pens. I might be doing some doodling with them. And then these are my photos. They're really tiny. I think they're like 2 by 2. Yeah, I believe so. And then this came in a rack. Actually, I think it was like my first rack ever here on YouTube. And she had sent me these beads, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get around to using them. And I never did. And let me tell you, I think that they've been in my stash for a couple of years now. So I'm going to use those, definitely. And then, whoops. Oh, I pulled out these little envelope pockets that came from, I think I bought them, that's Big Lots. I was trying to see what the price tag was, but they're from Big Lots, and they have little, it's a little pocket type thing, and then you just pull this out, and there's a little tab already in there, like a little journaling tag. So I might use one of those, maybe an orange one, I'm not sure. So there's that one. And then these neon recollections floral embellishments that I bought from Michael's, obviously a package that I haven't used. Some old Making Memories rub-ons, and I have actually used them, but up until like a few weeks ago I hadn't. So I had used it on one of my pictures in Project Life, and I thought they were a great size and that they're super cute. And then a couple of stamp sets. I bought this from Joann's a few weeks ago, and it is the Hello collection, and I love the font on the months. And it's not actually a solid stamp, it's kind of distressed, so I thought that was really neat. And then this stamp set by Ali Edwards, part of the monthly Technique Tuesday kit or stamp club, and I haven't used that at all. And then I had planned on using the smaller Polaroids in here on the page. And then these are from the Dollar Spot at Target. I thought they were really cute. I love the colors too. Great for summer. And then I believe I'm going to be using the November, because I think these pictures are from November. And then some stick pins, more than likely the hearts. Since there's going to be lots of bright colors, I want some type of neutral color other than white on the page. And then these are the die cuts for Amy Tangerine's sketchbook collection, and I actually have that out. If I do end up using any pattern paper, I do have it out. And this is the Recollections / Amy Tangerine sketchpad collection. So I'll just flip through that there, because I have no idea what I'm going to be using out of there. So yep, that's it. Oh, and then some neon colored washi tape. I believe these 4 are Recollections, and then this one, I got from the expo, and I don't know who actually makes it, but I'm sure like 2Ps and Freckled Fauna actually has them. And then there's this extra love stamp that came from that last layout that I just showed, and then this one here from says choose happiness, and it's not really washi tape, it's kind of like paper tape, and it says choose happiness on this neutral kind of tape. And then let me just explain. The pictures are of my sons. They both were clingy at some point during their babyhood. The baby's actually going through it right now, where they have to constantly be next to me, and they're just pictures of them screaming. I have a million pictures of them smiling and happy, but it's because they are such happy children, I hardly ever get a picture of them crying. And so I like to be able to scrap everything about our lives, not just the good stuff, not just the happy stuff, and that to me is special because I hardly ever get them crying, or I don't know if that makes any sense, but I love their faces when they cry just because it's a face that I hardly ever see. So I don't know if that's coming out right at all, but it kind of probably makes me sound mean, but like I said, I hardly ever see the faces, and I always think it's so sweet and it's so cute that I want to be able to put it in our album. So, and that's probably what the journaling is about. I wrote this journaling out in November. So anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me in this process video, the first one I haven't done in like forever. Oh look, oh sorry, I'm looking at my desk right now and I realize I have some neon stuff sticking out over here. Oh, I guess it's just the pink. I don't think that's gonna make it on the layout, but I'll leave it out just in case. Sorry. Okay. Alright. I will go ahead and start now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye! Hi everyone! Okay, so I'm going to start by misting the background in 4 different sections. First with this bubble mask in the kind of bluish color, and then next in the chevron in the neon orange. I didn't really care that the colors weren't exact and that, you know, I wasn't looking for full coverage. I just wanted kind of a pattern in the background. And then since the next mask was a 12 by 12, I went ahead and I pulled out a roll of craft paper that I purchased from the dollar store, and I spread it across my desk so that I could keep it from misting all over the place. So, and it worked out great. It's kind of like that paper that you receive in your orders whenever you order from like Studio Calico or from 2Ps. They usually have that packing paper stuffed in there so your stuff doesn't bend. So that's kind of what it's like. So I'm just flipping through here because I wanted to mount the 4 clusters in a piece of pattern paper in the middle, and just cutting those pictures out. And then I had originally edited the photos to fit in the Polaroid frame for the 5th and Frolic stamp set, but because I'm not using it, or not using the 5th and Frolic, it kind of didn't fit in these frames. So I went ahead and I mounted some just plain white cardstock on the very back of these wood veneer frames, and then I went ahead and I mounted the photos on the cardstock. And I ended up having to use glue dots. Right now I'm just using Scotch tape, just regular Scotch tape to hold it, but then it doesn't end up holding, so I have to pull out a stronger adhesive. And usually my glue dots are a go-to for me. Alright, I'm just mounting those, and then they're just going to be on opposite corners. And then I'm looking for some die cuts to put in the other 2 corners. I really wanted to use the camera in this die cut set, but they seem too big and too awkward. So I'm going with these ones right here, and then I'm just gonna embellish around it there. And then I end up sewing that piece of paper down. I don't know if you guys are gonna get a chance to see it because my battery died at some point. But I went ahead and I sewed it because I really wanted to crinkle up the edges. I wanted it kind of like a rough and like playful feel for the page. Oh, I guess you guys do get to see me sew a little bit. I'm not the greatest sewer in the world, so I didn't really care about how straight or how crooked the lines were. Still working on this whole sewing machine thing. Alright, so it's also down, and then I pulled out some envelopes. I didn't get to film that, but I pulled out some envelopes. They're mounted behind the number 2 and then that love die cut as well. And then I put some of that neon polka dot washi tape behind where the letters are poking through or are poked through on those Polaroids. You can't really see it, but I really like how it grounded them to the page. It was really just a place so that I could put their initials. So I'm placing those envelopes behind there and kind of working on the clusters. Sorry. And then this little tag thing or little post-it is from that dollar spot packaging there at the top left. And I had to trim it down because it was a little bit too big for that number. When I placed it over there, you couldn't really see the number behind it. So, and then I just added some more washi tape behind the envelopes, and it was really nice that the envelopes had a little bit dimension to them, so I didn't have to put them up on pop dots. And then I added some of these fluorescent little flower thingamajigs. I don't even remember what they're called. They're recollections flowers. Yep, I don't remember what it's called. And then I used these rub-ons for their initials. I didn't get to use the Heidi Swap, the neon alphas that I had showed in the beginning, but I'll get a chance to, or I'll get around to using them eventually. I added the stick pin at the very bottom there, next to the love, and I just added it with some glue dots. And then I'm picking out a scrap piece of paper to mount the little calendar. It's a clear sticker, so I didn't really like it just, being clear on the page since everything is so colorful. And then the pictures were taken within days of each other in November, so I didn't really care to actually put a date. And just, just the month was good enough for me. And then what do? Oh, I outline the very edge of the pattern paper with the neon pens, and I wasn't really going for anything exact. Just kind of scribbled on the side there. I don't think I've ever outlined anything. If I have, it's probably only been once or twice. And then I went ahead and I stamped the title at the very bottom. It says the faces that make me smile. And I just used one of my favorite dollar stamps from Michaels. They're really great. I love them. They make it so easy. And it's inked with the neon blue Hero Arts ink pad. And then once I stamp it at the very bottom, I realized that you can't really see it, so I ended up stamping it at the very top. So the title is in 2 different places, and then at the very end, at the very top, I went ahead and I sewed on the beads, and then it's also at the very bottom there at the beginning of the title. So it's kind of opposites in different corners, but I'm just glad that I was able to use the beads, and that's how I wanted to use them originally when I received them in the rack. So yay! I can cross that off my to-do list and actually hopefully get to do it more on different pages. And then I use these alpha stickers here from Sassafras for their ages, and then I was counting how old my little one is at the time. I had like 23 weeks on the paper. Well, 23 weeks, he was technically 5 months, so just doing that in my head. And then I went ahead and I outlined the edges of the page with the neon. And here's just a close-up of the title. And I printed out my journaling on some vellum and mounted it onto that tag there. At the very bottom, I thought it was a little bit too stark white for such a colorful page, and it kind of jumped out at you. So with the journaling on top of it with the vellum, I feel like it mutes it a little bit. And then I just attached it with a wood veneer clip from Basic Gray. And I think that's the page. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!